Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Has anyone seen West Ham? Westfield Shopping Centre, Hammerhead, the Queen Vic, Moose.
Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in the virtual room filled with lions. I have got Berth, I have got Chris. Ollie is very much enjoying his honeymoon. He's not underwater, as someone pointed out. He's not. He is confirmed above water. All good. He's enjoying the sunsets. Can confirm. He sent me in his winners and losers list as well. But other than Ollie's honeymoon, what were your moments from the weekend?
Well, I've actually got two. So one that I've just told you off air. I don't know if you class it as the weekend, but it's bank holiday, and I've just won £85 on a bet, which is good. £85, great. And my second highlight is yesterday. I got to see the absolute pleasure of watching Chris score the winning goal in his game. My game was after here, so I watched the last end of it, and it is a very good volley. It is Van Persie-esque, I will say. So that was a good highlight. That was a good highlight of mine.
Was it Van Persie for United or the one for Arsenal against Charlton?
I weren't in the air. It was like he scored one. I mean, it weren't as good as any of Van Persie's volleys, but it was over the top. It was like I think he scored one against Liverpool that was like Chris's, and Chris just followed it bottom corner, and he won the game for him. So that was quite nice to see. So.
Okay, I mean, you know what? Because you've led with a goal. I'll lead with one. It was at St Andrews, where a Birmingham City fan scored an absolute whirly at the end of the game. The game had ended.
Yes.
I mean, even a 300-man wall couldn't stop it. And listeners, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worth your time. It'll be the best 30 seconds you'll have all week. I swear down, it really will. It's still... I mean, Pitch Invasion. They got relegated, by the way, just so you know. But Pitch Invasion anyway. How memories to last a lifetime. Chris, what was your highlight moment?
To be fair, scoring the last minute winner was my highlight of the weekend because
fair play.
I hadn't scored for like 6 games, which is quite a long time.
Oh, that's Chelsea level.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, no.
And to be fair, I actually haven't been that fit. Like I had a virus in the new year, and I've been really struggling with fatigue since. So
that's very Chelsea.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. So I actually haven't been that fit. But this week I've started to feel a lot better, fatigue wise. So it was nice to come on for the last sort of 25 minutes and get the winner. Yeah.
Hey, that's what matters. Fair play to you, sir. And it's good that you're on the up. Right. We have got a little bit of news, so I'm going to hit the news. And I'm nervously going to go to the host and say, you heard that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm saying this, listener, because Zoom updated their app to a new thing, and I felt very old dealing with it because I didn't understand any of the new features and everything. Anyway, yeah. Well, what happened that's in the worthy of our new segment? Well, with 115 goals in 205 appearances for the Blues, Fran Kirby, Super Fran, she has enjoyed a trophy-laden career. 15 trophies to her cabinet were added, 6 WSL titles, 5 FA Cups, 2 League Cups and a Community Shield, and the WSL Spring Series to her name. And after 9 awesome, memorable years, she has decided to just bring the curtain down on her Chelsea career, and she will depart at the end of the season. Chris, I felt that we had to honour her contribution to this this era of Chelsea. So, I mean, how would you describe her time with Chelsea over those 9 years?
I'd go as far as to say that she's sort of the face of Chelsea. I think she was the first real sort of superstar player that the club had, that's from like a marketing sort of point of view as well. she's one of those sort of trailblazing players, I think, who helped grow the women's game massively. Like, there's been so many people who have contributed to the growth, but it all starts somewhere, and I think she was one of the sort of catalysts for it. Where especially when she signed for Chelsea, and I think she just took the club to another level with her performances on the pitch, and her record speaks for itself. She's had problems as well that she's overcome, so she's a real role model for people out there about overcoming adversity, and she'll be sadly missed. She will be around the squad and from the fans, because every game you go to, whether she's in the squad or not, her name is sung by Chelsea fans.
Yeah, she'll be well remembered, and she is adored. And I know people are going to wonder what comes next after Emma Hayes' era ends, and we assume the Sonia Bomper era begins, but a lot of players are going to leave, and that's just the turnover of squads, and it's a shame. I mean, Melda's leaving as well. It's a real shame, and it does feel the end of an era. But just because the songs stopped, is ending, doesn't mean the album won't continue. So let's put positive onto next season. We could end with a trophy, and there's a reason I'm bringing that up, because double match report, isn't it? Chelsea's women took on Bristol City, and oh my word, I did not expect that. It was one of those wild weekends for the WSL. I mean, you had Manchester City bottle a simple 1-0 lead in the 90th minute to lose 2-1. So thank you, Jonas, and the Arsenal women there. And then Chelsea have got the advantage here. They know a win puts them back into the driving seat. They only go and put 8 past Bristol City, which totally obliterated the Death Star that was Manchester City's goal difference advantage. Chris, I'm still cannot believe what I saw Sunday. I still can't believe it. I mean, can you?
We are the only team in the league who could do that. There is no other team in the league who could have turned that goal difference around. There isn't. Man City wouldn't have done it if they was chasing us. Arsenal wouldn't have done it. That is the machine that Emma Hayes has created here. The culture of the club is, it's not over till it's over. And you could tell straight away that, I think as soon as the Man City result came in, the belief grew that we can do this. And with every goal that went in, there was no celebrating. It was get the ball, let's go again, get another, get another, get another, and get another. And that's it. That is so hard to do. Like people don't realise how, because once the game is over as a contest, players tend to relax, and the games, you see it all the time, don't you? A team takes a 4-0 lead into half time, the second half's just sort of played out with no real thought process behind it. It's just it's almost like a training session. But the mentality that they showed to keep going and keep believing that we can put the title back in our hands, and from the turnaround from last Wednesday, how everyone felt at the end of last Wednesday's game to now, it's incredible. And I think Emma Hayes was really, really clever after the Liverpool game, in almost conceding the title to City. Millie Bright said it in her interview after yesterday's game, that it was mind games, and she's played it perfectly, because what that did is it took all the pressure off our team, and it put it all on Man City, and Man City crumbled under that pressure, because they went into that Arsenal game knowing we can't lose here, because the title was in our hands now. And then they did, and now we're in control, because if we beat Tottenham and we beat Man United, realistically we're going to win the league.
I mean, I know many people don't believe in momentum in sport. I do. I really do. And the momentum is now suddenly with us. And I would rather be the one who's going forward with the momentum, knowing we got a shot here. This is ours, than the team that has got the backwards momentum of we could lose this. I cannot believe where we are now when we could have been in this. I mean, yeah. I mean, like you said, we were 2-0 up at half time, and then obviously the second half, we just totally went for it. And look, like you said, the midweek, the WSL title was dead. It was dead and buried. And hey, I've got to say, I want to apologise to Emma Hayes and this women's team because clearly I wasn't familiar with their game as I claimed to be. It was an absolute display of resilience and brilliance. And it was obviously Emma's final home game. The entire team rallied. And of course, I have to give my props to Gura Wrighton, who truly stole the show, single-handedly reigniting these title aspirations. I mean, it's the Chelsea we know and love. I mean, it was passionate, it was determined, it was unstoppable. And look, like you said with City, I mean, they've seemingly easier fixtures ahead, but we have the golden opportunity to defy the odds and achieve the impossible. So, hey, heads held high, spirits soaring. That's what I'm going to say. I mean, what do you think, Berth? What? Yeah, put it into words.
I mean, incredible, really. I think, to be honest, when we went 5-0 up, I was like, they're not going to stop here. That it was just relentless, and it's something that it is that elite mentality, and I don't think any other manager in that league would have got that out of the players other than Emma Hayes. And at the end of the game, that sort of like that speech that she did is almost iconic now, especially if they go and win the league.
Yeah.
But unbelievable performance, and you can say it was mind games. It might have been mind games, but it was one of them where the comment she said, you could say that look, Chris was right. It took all the pressure off Chelsea, and it was sort of like a win-win for us. If we'd have lost against Bristol City or not scored as many goals, and Man City had won, then Emma Hayes would have been right. And obviously, we go and do that, and City lose, and then it's like Man City have bottled it. So it's it is unbelievable management, man management, woman management as well, and just. You can't really pick out a star performer because they're all fantastic, but it was just relentless, and it is a momentum game, and you do feel that going into the next couple of games that they'll be right up for it now. They 100%. They will be so up for it, and we have got 2 tough games. Don't get me wrong, but you fancy them now, don't you? You just fancy them now.
That's the thing, and there's some. It is related, so I'll have to add that. I was over the weekend, I was on the women's soccer subreddit, and I did see an interesting question about my favourite blue, Zachira Musovic, and that she should leave Chelsea for more game time. I just want to say no, and no, because look, yesterday she did make a vital save early on, timed it right to clear a Bristol chance as well. It was a good game, you know. I mean, you kept a clean sheet. We hadn't been doing that at times, had we? I mean, we conceded how many from the corners? It was set pieces, against Liverpool. Yeah. And personally, I think she should stay mainly because she's a solid goalkeeper with excellent shot-stopping abilities. And whenever I've seen her play for Chelsea or Sweden, she does make crucial saves in the high-pressure situations. And someone's going to point out weaknesses. Yeah, I'm not going to be completely biased because she's my favourite player. You know, she does have her weaknesses, footwork, distribution. But this is the thing I want to say. Big thing is we have a new manager on the horizon. And Bumper Store might prefer her over Hampton. And I say that just as a theory. I've not got actual backing on this. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying, just look at many a club whose goalkeeper situation was set in stone. Then a new manager said, no, not for me. Joe Hart, City, De Gea at United. That's all I'm going to say. You never know. We don't know who. Sam Kerr could be a defensive midfielder in the summer. I don't know. Who knows? Right. Match report sponsored by Chelsea 5, West Ham 0. We don't need a sponsor because it was high fives all bloody round. It was a top tier performance. Everyone was smiling. VAR even awarded us a goal. Can't but I couldn't get over that. When that happened, I thought that as soon as I heard VAR, I was like, well, it's not going to be 5, and I'm going to leave the room. Suddenly, 5. Oh my word, what was going on? I mean,
you know what's weird though? You know what's weird though as well? We're actually really good. Like, we're really good.
We're so weird.
Really good.
What a weird game. We were good, and VAR was good. Wow. I mean, we've got to start with the winners. I mean, who we got? How many we got? I've got 3.
I've narrowed it down to 3. Yeah, I've got 3.
I've got 3.
Chris, Thank you.
Wow.
I swear to God, if you'd have said 5 then or 500 like you normally do.
No. I'm playing by the rules now, Berth. I know the rules.
Well, good.
Ollie's picked 2 that I also picked. So yeah, I've got his in front of me. So he was able to send me those whilst he was underwater. Okay.
I'll go first if you want. I'll just go straight in if you want me to.
Go for it.
Gotta be Madueke.
He's on mine and he's on Ollie's.
Yeah. It's
My man.
and spoiler alert, he was my line of the week as well.
He was.
So
You had one.
I'll be honest with you. I said last week is probably the best I've seen him play. I'd change it to this week is the best I've seen him play. Genuinely unplayable. Really fantastic to watch. Good header, good positioning for his goal. The unselfishness to pass to Jackson when he was one on one with the keeper, which I think not just him actually. I think the decision making for most of our attackers has actually developed as the season's gone on, and I think it's proven that we can now score 3 or 4 goals a game.
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought he was a real mature performance from him. He never stopped. His work rate was there, attitude was there. And he did deserve a goal. I think he got 2 assists, didn't he? Or was it just the one?
I think 1 assist.
But I mean, in all fairness, that assist, I'll give a shout out to Trevor Chalobah, who isn't one of my winners this week. But that pass to play Madueke through is one of the best passes you'll see this season. Yeah. And I don't think people have talked about it enough. So he needs some flowers as well. But yeah, Madueke, unbelievable.
My man, my bloody man. What a masterclass. What a showcase. What a performance. And guess what I'm doing? I'm lifting up my velvet rope and inviting you into the Stat Drop Club, because 69 touches, 22 passes in the final third, 12 touches in the opponent's box, 7 shots, 6 chances created, 4 shots on target, 4 duels won, 2 successful take-ons, 1 goal, 1 assist. And the first time he has scored and assisted in a Premier League game at Stamford Bridge this season. Wow. Wow. And Ollie said phenomenal performance. And I turned to Chris because I know he's on your list, isn't he?
No. But he is
only
because I knew you lot was going to pick him.
I was in love with the performance.
I've picked different people because he would have been on mine if Berth allowed me to have more than 3.
Go on, who's one?
Rules are rules, Chris. Rules are rules.
Yeah, I know. Just on Madueke though, I think he's getting better every week. And the thing is as well, it's his character that I really like. He seems like he's going into games with like a real hunger for being the match winner, being that player. It's almost like he's took everyone talking about Cole Palmer to heart, and is like, well, no, I think it's trying. I want you to be talking like that about me too, and that's a really, really good thing. Like I think since the second half against Villa, his attitude has been top draw.
Yeah, 100%. Who's a winner then for you?
I have got Trevor Chalobah.
There we go.
The pass, as Berth said, is absolutely unbelievable. But I actually think he's been really solid for a few games now.
He has, yeah.
Hasn't really put a foot wrong. Distribution from the back's really good. He looks comfortable when he has to step forward and go and play as well, which I think really helps. Defending's been really good. He's just another player who looks like he's making it hard for the board to sell.
Yeah, I love it.
Which is good.
It is, because he was going to go in January. That was what we were hearing, and suddenly he's a key part of the team, and it's like, oh, what? It's almost like Cobham produces good players. So on that, this isn't a Cobham graduate, but I'm going to go to Mauricio Pochettino as my second winner, because on Friday's pod I gave him flowers. Today I give him my credit because it is due. And this is a bit of a tangent here, but switching managers at the end of the season risks undoing all the chemistry and camaraderie Pochettino has managed to foster through both the highs and lows that we've seen with this season. And I think it's now clear for all to see that he has what it takes to elevate this team to the heights this club's renowned for, we're known for. And I strongly say that he should have a voice in shaping the recruitment strategy to bolster this current squad he's got, because cut the bullshit on our age restrictive recruitment, cut it. Because Bowley, look, you make wonderful food, but I want the barbecue out this summer and I want you to let Poch cook. because only a select few managers can instill stability in a group of players and motivate them to strive for that excellence, that level, that standard, that Chelsea level and standard. And Poch, for me, is showing now he's undoubtedly one of them. Hansi can flick off. De Zerbi can, whatever rhymes with De Zerbi. And Conte's, nay from me. Stick with Poch. He's earned the keys to this Ferrari.
Totally agree.
Is he a winner for any of you?
No, he's not. Okay. But I mean, I could have picked 11. Really, I could have picked 11 winners.
I agree. I could have picked him, but I didn't. I agree with everything you said, though, and I've been saying for a couple of weeks now that I think letting him go now in the summer would just set us back another year.
Who are you bringing in? I've said hammer him. He's staying. Oh,
mate, don't ask anyone that because they'll never give you an answer.
We need another manager. Who?
The thing is with Poch. The thing is with Poch as well. I actually think we play really good football.
We played really well.
The start of the season, obviously, it was a lot of new players, new manager. It took time, but our forwards are scoring. We're playing really good football. We've kept a couple of clean sheets now. We're not that far off fifth. I mean, we've got to a final. I think it'd be absolutely disgraceful if we actually sack him now because he's got something going.
I agree. In fact, I don't think we've played bad football all season.
I agree. I actually agree.
We went through periods where we weren't finishing the chances, but we were still making them. I don't think this team at any point under Poch has been boring to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if he's a winner for either of you. He's not on my list, but I just want to point out, look at Nicholas Jackson. So much. He's had 13 goals this season, no penalties in that. And people are still not rating him. No.
Yeah, but the problem is, the problem is, and it really pisses me off. People are sheeps. They just don't have their own opinion. I mean,
I'll tell you.
Carry on, Mark.
No, I'll tell you a player who everyone's saying he's having an outstanding season. He's revitalised. You know who I'm on about straight away, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kai Havertz, 12 goals. That's less than Jackson. Yes. And by the way, one of them is a penalty. So, come on.
And he's playing in a better team.
Exactly. You can't
a more
tell
stable
me.
Team.
You can't tell me that Jackson is not having a good. I'm not saying he's having a better season than Havertz. I'm just saying you can't say that Nicholas Jackson is okay and then say Havertz is outstanding this season when they're both. Look at them. They're up there. Both of them. Come on.
You also can't say Jackson's worse in front of goal when people are saying, "Oh, Nunes is fantastic. He runs really hard. He does loads for Liverpool. He's fantastic." Jackson, he misses just as many chances as Jackson. Jackson's got more goals.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair. Chris, who's a winner for you?
Nicholas Jackson.
Yes.
Do you know what? I absolutely love Nicholas Jackson.
Same.
He's for real.
Yeah, he is quickly becoming one of those strikers that you're just willing to back, even on the games when he's shit. I love everything about him. I love his attitude this season when things haven't been going well. I love his interviews when he talks about he knows that he's missed chances and he can be better. It shows a player who knows that he needs to improve, and through that, I think he will. But also, I think he's so good for the team, and I think he's so understated in the work he does for other people. He makes the other people around him better. He's very Giroud-like in that. Like, Olivier Giroud was never going to get you 20 goals in the league, but he made everyone around him better. And at the time, we really appreciated that as fans, but now it's like, we don't give a shit about that. It's all about, we need someone who's going to score 20 goals. But, I mean, Jackson's got 13. We've still got, 3 games left?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And remember,
he could quite easily end on 18 goals. But that's
he's got
too
16,
shy.
16 across all competitions. That's the same tally that Didier Drogba managed in his first season.
And what I don't understand is we're making the same mistake that we've made in the past, where we've had someone who's doing what Jackson's doing, but we want the shiny new thing. So it's like, get rid of him. And then we'd loan him out next season when we bring Victor Osimhen in, and Osimhen for 100 million would wouldn't hit the ground running, and then 3 games in he'd be a flop because he's only scored 1 goal, and Jackson would go out somewhere on loan and he'd be doing really well. And do you know what it'd be? It'd be Tammy Abraham all over again.
Yeah,
Because
I think that's very fair.
this is exactly what we did with Abraham. He had that season under Lampard where he scored like 15 goals in the league, and everyone was going, "Nah, he's not good enough though. He's not good enough at this. He's not good enough at that. We need someone who can do this. We need someone who can do that." Do you know who we went and signed? Kai Havertz.
Well, we also got Romelu Lukaku, and that turned out well for everyone.
Jackson. Sorry, just last thing on Jackson. He needs backing to a point now where I'm not even sure we should sign a striker in the summer.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. That's an off-season episode. That is right there. Berth, who's your go for second and third winners?
So my second winner is Conor Gallagher.
Great
because for a lad who hasn't got any technical ability, he's scored a really good goal again at the weekend. Isn't creative, but he's got a lot of assists this season. He's got 7 now, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Again, it's not bad, is it, for someone who's not creative and not technically gifted. And also, he's unbelievable. He's actually so good. He's such a good captain. He leads by example. He runs about. There is no better presser, I think, than him in the league. And I don't think that's a debate either. I think he's... Carry on, Chris, carry on.
So Conor Gallagher, right, is the only player I have ever seen criticised for working hard.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like fans use it as a stick to beat him with. Like, look at sure he works hard, and it's like, oh no, he doesn't. Does he? That's a good thing, isn't it? It's really bizarre.
And it's just again, it's another one where people don't have their own opinions. They'll just see stats and they'll hear what other people are saying and go, "Oh, Conor Gallagher's rubbish." He's not at all. He should be Chelsea captain. I personally think he potentially could start for England in a midfield 3. I think he is fantastic. And this lad this season, if we sell him, will be one of the biggest mistakes that Chelsea do. It really will be. It's be the worst mistake they can do this summer. But yeah, he was fantastic. And my third winner is Cucurella. Because
he's mine.
Yeah,
he's just absolutely. Again, you got to give Poch a lot of credit to sticking with this sort of inverted left back centre mid role, but he's actually really good. And I can't remember actually the last time Cucurella played badly. He looks more. He looks better on the ball. He's positionally, he's a lot better. He doesn't look as frantic. He looks like. He deserves to be there now. And I think when Chua comes back, like Gusto and James, I think when Chua comes back, I think he'll really find it hard to get Cucurella out of the team. So
yeah, fantastic. He made my winners list yet again, just showing just how fun being an inverted fullback is. I mean, him and Caicedo in that midfield's been working magic. I'd say he wears a magic hat, but he has magic curls to send the opposition into twirls. He spent 5 months out, and he's been a conductor in that role since he returned. And Gallagher, it means that Gallagher can bomb on forward from that pivot, and now we have Cucurella, inverting to help cover the space and provide some actual security if the opposition obviously break on us. I mean, it just works so well. And I think I saw this somewhere that many speculated that this was why Guardiola wanted him at City. Hey, if it is, Poch's got an absolute golden player there. Chris, who are your final winners?
Just one left. Badiashile.
I like that one. I like that one.
Another one who over the last couple of weeks has been really good after what was an absolutely awful run of form for him personally. A couple of weeks ago we was talking about should we look to move him on because he was playing that poorly. But he's looked really good. And I thought against West Ham, he was outstanding. Up against Antonio, who is one of
our kryptonite.
Like Mikel Antonio, he's not a brilliant footballer, but he is one of the hardest strikers in the league to play against. But Badiashile was aggressive. He was nipping in front of him to nick the ball. Distribution was really good. I actually can't think of a single mistake he's made now for a few weeks. And it's the player that we saw before his really poor run of form. Who looked like he could be in the back line for years. I just hope he continues, because he is showing that he can be a really good player, but we need him to keep this form and not the one from a few weeks ago.
Very true. Ollie's winners were, other than Madueke, he had Caicedo putting that he was worth the fee we paid. Says it all, been outstanding lately. And Cucurella, my line of the week with another monster class, done very, very well in that role. Now, some people are going to be like, how have you found losers? I found two. Ollie found, hang on, the Zoom notification popped up then. Three? Bloody hell.
Wow.
I mean, that's the cap we have every week. It doesn't mean you have to hit three. But hey, you know what? I'll jump onto one of his losers, and he put Jared Bowen. He hit the bar more times.
Yeah, he's on a mine. He's on a mine. Yeah,
he hit the bar more times than I have on holiday. Call it unlucky, call it whatever you want, but he had a poor game. Football is a game of fine margins, and nearly doesn't cut it. It never will. I mean, I love that. Yeah. That's a good loser.
Yeah.
Why was he? Was he the loser for the exact same reason, Bert, for you?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit the bar so much in all my life. It was just, you could just see the desperation in his face. He was just absolutely devastated. But I think he hit it, 3 times, was it?
I think so.
Yeah, and you could just tell he looked up to the sky and thought, wow, it's just one of those days. And that's football, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
Crazy game, but yeah.
You know what? I'll read off Ollie's next one. He had West Ham. We were great, but they were piss poor.
Yeah, they was horrendous.
Yeah, they were bad. They were bad.
Yeah. I mean, who was a loser for you, Chris?
I've got Arsenal.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what.
Oh.
Every time Arsenal seem to beat us convincingly, it kickstarts our season.
Word.
I can't. Under Conte, they beat us 3-0 at the Emirates, and then we went on and won the league. Under Tuchel, they beat us at Stamford Bridge. We went on and won the Champions League. And then a week and a half ago, they beat us 5-0, and we've been class ever since.
Yeah.
It's like, if we lose to Arsenal, it's like the club take it really personally, and they're like, no, we're not having this. We need to finish the season strong now, because we're not having that. And from now on, if we ever lose to Arsenal, just know good things are coming.
I think as well, you have to add that we've got to have been outplayed by them, like totally dominated. Because someone's going to pinpoint that last season we lost 1-0 and 3-1. Last season was so bad.
Yeah, last season doesn't count though.
No, no one should ever look back at that season. My first loser is it's West Ham fans, because when Madueke put that ball in the back of the net, it was 3-0 for Chelsea, and it was around 36 minutes. So still early in it's midway through the first half, you know. And the commentary team pointed out something really interesting to me, and it was that they said that West Ham fans were leaving the stadium. Now, I've got to say, hold on a minute here, because you're leaving the stadium after just about half an hour. I mean, that is downright shameful. Look, I've seen my fair share of tough losses for Chelsea. Handed 5-0 by Arsenal, 6-0 shellacking by City, and even a 4-0 drubbing by the enemy that is Bournemouth. And you know what? I never once thought about turning off that TV or walking out the room early. I know it's a bit different to being in a stadium, and don't say I have no choice because I do this podcast. Look, and how about, I saw this a good excuse. Don't bring up beating the traffic. Our stadiums are only a stone's throw away, 12 miles apart. 12. I know London traffic, but come on, that's poor. Look, the ones who left offered as much support as a wet noodle in a tug of war. No, you can't be doing 36 minutes. If it was 67, 68, you'd still go, oh, not great. But to leave in the first half, I can't have that. No,
especially against a team where we are known
second
for
half.
shipping goals.
The second half capitulations.
Yeah,
I know. It's no.
Earlier in the season, we were 3-0 up against Luton, and we nearly threw that away.
Yeah, I remember watching that game in the pub and thinking, we've got this. Oh no, what are we doing? Oh gosh, it's
embarrassing.
Thankfully, we didn't capitulate, so that's otherwise there'd be more losers than ever. Right, Chris. Other than Arsenal, who are your losers?
I've only got one more. I've got Enzo.
I actually think that's fair. I actually think
it is fair. It is fair. It is fair.
I think, I think we're all thinking the same thing. That is fair.
Because, right, and I have said this publicly, that I don't necessarily think it's a reflection on him as an individual player.
100%.
The team looks better without him.
Also 100%.
Because the balance in midfield is better. Now, you can't say if you take Caicedo out and put Enzo in, it wouldn't be the same because we don't know. We haven't seen it, which, it might be the same. But at the moment, from what we've seen, the Caicedo Enzo pivot doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more than enough evidence to suggest that is true.
Yeah.
And since he's come out the team, the games he's missed have been our best games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that old saying is there's no smoke without fire. So people saying that it's got nothing to do with him and it's just coincidence. He has been at the club now for like 18 months.
You forget that.
When he came in, results didn't improve. Performances didn't overly improve. He's never really been a catalyst for any sort of improved performance that we've had. And since he's come out and Cucurella's moved into that inverted fullback, and I think he's getting the best out of Caicedo, and it's getting more from Gallagher because, like you said earlier, he can go and press, but there's still numbers behind him if he gets beat, and the balance of the team looks better. That's a catalyst for improvement. But Enzo now is a problem.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying, I think I said it last week or the week before, that I actually think Poch was being forced to play Enzo and Caicedo because of the price tag from the hierarchy. And the best thing that happened was Enzo dropping out for the season and having this surgery, and Poch being able to do what he's wanted to do and not play that. And sometimes you have to make that sacrifice for the team. It's not about individual players. It's about what makes the team best, because it's never as simple as get your 11 best players on the pitch. Football doesn't work like that. It's what makes the best team, what has the best balance. And sometimes that means having less talented players in the team to get the best out of the talented ones. Sometimes you need that. And I think Enzo is one of those where he is talented. There's no doubt about that. He's got ability, but he just doesn't work in this team. And it's a real problem now, because if our form continues from now until the end of the season, what do you do when he comes back? And to be fair, it's not just him, because I'd argue as well, this system only works of pushing Cucurella into midfield if you've got a centre back essentially playing right back like we have in Chalobah.
Yeah, and Gilchrist.
Who can go and Gilchrist, who can go and play as a centre back. So what happens to Gusto? What happens to Reece James? It's a real conundrum. But Enzo is sort of at the epicenter of it at the minute, that he is £100 million player who at the minute, if he was fit, should be on the bench.
Yeah. I can't agree more. And we've got an interesting point on that in question. So
I've got one more loser, by the way. I've got one more loser.
Yeah, who is it?
Spurs.
Way.
They are bad. They have
mate, they
have absolutely gone off the rails, and it is hilarious if I'm honest. And like Jamie O'Hara, I saw a video of him predicting in October that they were in a title race. Grow up, mate. You're a Spurs fan.
They're not in the title race. They don't do that.
Nah, it's just hilarious to see them fall off. And yeah, they'll probably finish above us, but it's still funny because they'll probably they haven't won as much as us, and it's just Spurs, and it's
my final loser was NBC's post-game coverage, because I was once asked if there was anyone on TV that I cannot stand, and that makes me want to, that who on TV makes me want to mute them. And it used to be George Burley, because he was very good at that.
Yeah.
But I think the whole NBC post-game crew yesterday coming close to taking the crown, because the opening exchange, if you missed it, listeners, was this: is this a good win for Chelsea or a bad loss for West Ham? It's a bad loss for West Ham. Never change, guys. Never change. And Ollie's final loser was Poch, and he put nitpick said after the game that he couldn't change the tactics until the players were ready, but this was what we were playing in pre-season to great effect. I think he's finally come out of his comfort zone. Think about how good we'd be if we'd made this change sooner. Disappointing. I mean, Ollie's not here, but I would ask Ollie if he was here. David Moyes is available at the end of the season. I mean, do you think he's a great fit?
No, I think he's actually harsh on like for Ollie to say that Poch is a loser, because it's just all what ifs. He could have tried it at the start of the season, and we could have lost 3 games, and then everyone would have been like, "Why is he playing it like that for?" You know,
almost
what I mean?
like when Conte had to wait until playing the wing backs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that is a real nitpick, I think, from Ollie. But yeah,
right. Emojis. Oh, go on, Chris.
Just on that, was we doing that in pre-season?
I saw it once or twice. Yeah.
But like we tried a lot in pre-season, so like,
pushing the fullback into midfield.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I remember Chilwell was sort of playing left wing, but as a left back. So yeah, maybe. But I don't particularly remember it being overly noticeable of having a defender in the midfield. I do think a lot of it fell apart though when Nkunku got injured. I think a lot of the plan was based around him, and then he got injured. And then, in fairness to Poch, it is hard to have a tactical system when your players get injured every other week.
That's fair. Emojis. Ollie went with a heart. I went with a high five because there's definitely a hand emoji and it definitely has 4 fingers and a thumb. So high five. What about you two?
I had the flame emoji because he was on fire yesterday.
We were cooking.
Good one. I'll go with the stars in their eyes because
good.
That's how good we are to watch at the minute.
Yeah, we are. That means it's Lion of the Week time. So we had Madueke, nicely done. Cucurella, and I had Petrovic, which I mean he kept a clean sheet. So
yeah, I did say I said you because you was worried about that, and I did say if he kept a clean sheet, then it's a win.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Questions. So Quaresma's questions, and Paul asked us a question that I had to make the main question, and that is: do we try and sell Enzo and let Caicedo and Gallagher be the main midfield partnership? And this is very interesting because I know that on social this causes a 50-50 split with the fans. I mean, the problem is ever since Enzo's injury, Pochettino has reverted to that, what I still believe is the pre-season tactic, and that's using Cucurella inverted. You know, we then have that 3-2-5 formation, and obviously this now sees Palmer move wide onto the inside right channel, and also Madueke's there, creating that attacking threat, which is working so well. And then Cucurella alongside Caicedo, Gallagher can then play higher up the pitch, and that allows Gallagher to press aggressively and capitalise on second balls and run a lot, because he loves that. Caicedo's then just keeping it simple, and that's complemented by Cucurella's intelligence. And we just have a cohesive midfield dynamic. It's just there, and it works. And look, Chris touched on this earlier, and he's right. Enzo is a top-class player, but he's not Conor Gallagher, and you can't just swap them two and expect the same result. I don't think you can. And
no, you couldn't.
The current team is thriving. And for me, there's no need to disrupt the rhythm just because of a returning £100 million asset. As I see it, if the recipe's cooking up a storm, why add extra ingredients? Top class player, but I just don't see. You would have to hope that Enzo can be Gallagher. He'd have to do all the running. He'd have to do the pressing. He would have to be Connor when we already have Connor. I don't know what we do. I have no idea.
I don't think we should sell him. I definitely don't think we should sell him.
I haven't made a decision on that. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's incredibly harsh to say we should sell him.
I didn't say that.
We do look. No, yeah, I know. But like, some people have. I've seen some people have some wild opinions, but I think the thing is he does offer you something different in midfield to the other two. Mm-hmm. It definitely works better at the minute with that dynamic of Caicedo, Gallagher, and Cucurella dropping into midfield. I'm not disputing that. But like Chris said, you know, if Caicedo got injured and then it was Gallagher and Enzo and they worked really well, do you then go and say, should we sell Caicedo because it's working with those two in midfield? So it's a bit of a
Yeah.
Bit of a difficult one. I don't think we should sell him because it does give you something different. And I think of the three, probably is the best passer. So he can dictate the play a bit more than the other two. So I think, yes, I wouldn't put him straight into the team, but I don't think we should sell him yet.
Turn to the Enzo person in the group. Chris, what do you think?
I agree with Beth, except for my only issue with Enzo is if that pressure from the hierarchy to play him is there.
Which I don't like.
Yeah, no. I mean, none of us know that, so we can't really...
No, of course we don't.
It's all speculation.
But if you can't tell me, the telling point would be that if he came back and Poch just abandoned all of this that's working to put him back in, you can't tell me any sane manager would do that. And I don't think Poch is an idiot. So there's got to be pressure somewhere. The reason why I say it is because Poch hinted at this much earlier in the season when I think it was might have been after the first international break when Enzo played and he looked absolutely knackered. And he was asked after about why did he play based on the fact that he only got back 24 hours before. And he said it's difficult to leave £100 million players on the bench when you've got people upstairs watching what you're doing.
Well,
and it's like, it's difficult. My only thing would be, he definitely has a role to play. Would he accept that role of not being a guaranteed starter, for one? And if it was a straight choice between selling him, if selling him meant that we could keep Gallagher and Chalobah, I'd sell him in a heartbeat.
Oh, good. That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
That is interesting.
It's a difficult one. That it is a difficult one.
This is the thing. I don't understand all the Conor Gallagher hate on social. I mean, maybe it is again just a vocal minority that we're hearing more.
Yeah,
they're just louder. It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Why not both? That's the thing. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? And hey, look, we'll end Monday with Ross Turnbull's Tenaball, and I've got an interesting category here. It is top 10 footballers in 2023. So I want you to work together and name the top 10 footballers in the world according to The Guardian. It's a British newspaper, and that was in 2023. So for that year, it's 10. It's 10.
Rodri.
Mbappe's. Oh, yeah.
Rodri was 5th, and Mbappe was 3rd. This is an actual order as well. Haaland was the number one player of 2023.
We're saying De Bruyne, Chris. De Bruyne?
No, Kevin De Bruyne is a good shout.
Kevin De Bruyne was 8th.
Harry Kane is a good shout. Yeah,
Harry Kane was 4th.
So we haven't got second, have we?
Second
best player. They wouldn't have said Messi still, surely.
Put him in there. We'll see.
Messi got 10th.
Yep, wow. See. What about Vinicius Jr.?
6th.
Oh, great shout.
Wow, you've perfected it so far.
What do you think to Salah, Chris? Should we say Salah?
Oh, Salah's got to be in there.
7th. 2 more
Bellingham?
left. Bellingham was 2nd.
Bellingham. Yeah.
Bellingham
so got one
second,
left.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Bernardo Silva
was 11th. He missed out on the top 10.
To be fair, that's not a bad shout, though. That is not a bad shout at all.
I'm going down the Man City route. It's got to be Virgil van Dijk. Surely.
Oh, yeah, of course it has.
Virgil van Dijk was... he's not in the top 10. I'm trying to find him.
I'm guessing he's not known if you were.
No. Yeah, that was a very dramatic pause.
He doesn't seem... He's not... he was 44th.
Well, that's
wow.
Maybe an Arsenal player then? It's not Saka, is it?
No, Saka finished 14th.
It's not
Foden. It would have annoyed me
Foden.
if it was Saka.
Is it Foden?
Foden finished somewhere.
Not second.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't 9th.
Right, Chris.
Still Foden even in there?
Well, the thing is, last year
41.
didn't Ruben Diaz win Football Writers Player of the Season?
Diaz was 21st.
Not Ruben Diaz then. Right.
Wow, I can't believe you forgot this player.
Who plays for Real Madrid? Am I on the right track to Real Madrid?
No, not even in that league.
League.
Premier League.
Not Ronaldo. Not Ronaldo, surely.
Ronaldo finished. He finished 27th.
No.
I was gonna say, Jesus Christ, he's in a farm.
Is it in the Prem?
I'm gonna give a Ronaldo finished below John Stones.
Oh, is it? Okay. Is it a player that went to Saudi not too long ago? No. Okay.
No. They are playing in Europe.
I was thinking Neymar, but
they're playing in Europe.
Lukaku made 80 on this list. I just want to say that 80.
But he said it's not. He said it's not Spain.
Lukaku, yeah, Lukaku.
It is Italy.
Lukaku finished above Enzo and David Alaba, Mike Maignan as well. Tchouameni. How did Lukaku finish above them? What? Did I miss something?
It's in Italy.
It's in it.
He won the title. Come on.
Lautaro Martinez.
No.
Oh, Rafael Leao.
No,
he won, no.
None of them won the Serie A title.
It's Osimhen,
Osimhen, yes.
It's going to be Osimhen, isn't it?
Osimhen,
my word.
Yeah.
Oh, in fairness, I forgot Napoli won the league because they've been
shit
this year.
They've been awful.
Oh my word.
They've been terrible, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well,
we got there in the end.
You did all right.
Osimhen was good. Osimhen was good last year, to be fair.
You did all right. Right. Well, listeners, thank you for listening. We will be back on Friday, so treat yourself well. It's going to be overrated goalkeepers draft in the Premier League. I can't wait because I think I'm going to have to reduce this down to like 2 picks each because otherwise, if we have 3 each, that's like, if there's all of us, that's 12 keepers. As realistically, there's only what? Technically.
It's the whole league.
I mean, unless you go for like backup keepers, which I'm certain that some people might do. I'm not hinting that might be me. But hey, till then, that'll be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.